Well, good evening. I'm your host, Robert Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom Podcast. Tonight's presentation is 7 Reasons I Savor the Process. I now savor the process of rising to my promised land by smelling my sea breezes of sovereign liberation, hearkening my winds of wisdom, feeling my mountaintops of mystical energy, viewing my panorama peace, relaxing on my mountaintops of tranquility, feeling my forthright foresight, listening, question, and comprehending, savoring the process, rises me to feel and experience my red carpet stroll through life, harmonizes inner and outer worlds by deeply listening and asking purposeful questions that align with my inner clarity, with the external rhythm of my life, singing the lyrical songs of splendor. This balance smooths my paths of enlightenment, opening up my personal red carpet of intentional living, ignites my innovative insights, wise comprehension. Savoring the process turns simple moments into revelations. As I take out thoughts and express my revelations, I never ever get caught up in my past. That's something I really have opened up to understand is if I use, the words we use that were with the memory, like change, heal, create, transformation, my parents' thinking and knowing, I stay inside the thoughts. But when I open up to savoring the process, I chime the rhyme of my prime time accomplished outcomes. If you start speaking and expressing your accomplished outcomes, you really discharge the memories and you take out the subconscious representations of the sensation of your life events, and you actually get to color your now with your natural optimistic wisdom. My breakthroughs illuminate my paths of enlightenment, elevating my journey, rising of wisdom and grace, awakens my fashion designer daredevilry, unleashes my life's craftsmanship candor. As I embrace the process with curiosity, understanding enhances my ability to sculpt my nowality, as every action I take has a unique, elegant stride on my journey of peace and prosperity that unlocks my empowering internal freedom and external freedoms. Because listening and savoring my process dissolves the mental constraints I put within myself. And that's something I've really opened up to in the last, 5 years. But I really understand it now. If you use the words expand, energize, comprehend, wisdom, insight, clarity, you stop getting balled up in yesterday's calamities and the clamoring of the event that's in the memory of your subconscious and inner dialogue. Because it likes to clog up the system. Mine does anyway. It allows me to step into my inventor's prowess as my sovereign liberation fuels adventurous confidence, cognizant energy to stroll through life that elevates everyday grandeur. That's something I really open up to, is you encompass the grandeur to experience your life your way. But the thing I discovered is when I stop enjoying the process or savoring the process, and this is just something I expanded into in the last couple of days, I always set the goal and then tried to go live the goal. But I forgot I expand into my desired lifestyle here and now by savoring the process of my daily events and listening for the wisdom, insight, clarity, understanding to move myself forward. Because I listened to all them guys that said, all you got to do is write it down, start thinking. No, you got to rise out of yesterday And that's something I thought I was doing, but I wasn't. It's about enjoying savoring the process of the events, encounters, experiences, and not everywhere dares that's going to rise you to your accomplished outcome. And I always thought I'd just do this, and I went from where I was at, trying to be up here where I wanted to be, and I tried to omit this in the middle, and that's where I stayed in the muck of myself. That's something that I really understand. Everybody is different, so they're savoring the process is going to be their way. But something I really awakened to today is wherever you're at in life, whatever your circumstances are right now, admit them to yourself. Write them down, admit them. And then as you're writing them down, draw a line on a sheet of paper. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm going. And then what is the process for me to rise, shine, and expand to this? Because it's easy to start with the outcome, but you got to understand the start. It's like the rabbit and the turtle. One thing, the turtle followed the process. The rabbit, he did what I do. He tried to go to the end, and then when he'd get ahead, he'd stop and go, and that's kind of where I was. And something I understand now is when you set a goal or an intention or something in life, where are you at in your life? What is the circumstances? What are your thought processes? Because you got to rise out of thought processes to revolutionary revelations that disqualify and disconnect from your thoughts. You want to get a fresh foresight to light that light of life. And, when you start writing the light of life, you start understanding the mundane had its purpose. However, to go up to here, you have to really enjoy the process of the now. And that's something that I really have expanded into is the here and now. Because you're not setting the goal back in your childhood. You're setting the inspiration of the desired outcome here. Yet the thought processes, the knowledge, everything is still stuck in the past. And that's where you got to uncast the past to enlighten the now. We all encompass the ability, agility, and audacity to be the fashion designer of your life with a daredevilry that decorates your path of lavish, endless, streaming health, wealth, fun, and ceaseless cash flow. We all encompass, every human being, green, orange, yellow, all encompass the wisdom and knowledge, the wisdom and insight and ingenuity to color our path of success. But however, everything we learned from the physical world is actually, it has a negative base to it. I really opened up to that the school system teaches negativity. And it always wants you to do what a teacher. So we got so used to doing to please the teacher, we forgot to trust ourselves. And I'm guilty of that one. But the teachers did what they understood, but I didn't understand that I was trying to live their life, unknowingly live their life. And when I open up to my ceaseless cash flow that chauffeurs me through life with ease, I expand out of the situation into my autonomous adventures, savoring the process, to broaden my forthright focus from the weight of the circumstance to the accomplished outcome, to experience my lavish, endless abundances. See, the world is very abundant. There's abundance for everybody. But I got caught up in that pity me pattern. Oh, look what they have. No, they got it. There ain't enough for me. That's a lie I told myself. And see, all the things you tell yourself, that the outside world's doing, you're actually lying to yourself. The outside world is clueless on what you have going on, but it's your programming that's controlling you. And I was never showed the way to enjoy, to savor the process until I showed myself today. This was actually my walkabout in the desert this morning. But you want to savor the process, rising to your promised land. And something I'm going to express to you is all the programming out there is never going to rise you to your promised land. It's going to show you some things, but it's you internally in here and the vision and everything within you that's going to rise you to it. But you got to savor the moment. And this is something, every person, every event that goes on in your daily life is to rise you to your accomplished outcomes. Something I understand, I've done it, and I've done it very well. And it's not the right thing, but I tried to live my desired life, but yet I was thinking, I let my thinking, knowing from yesterday, control today. See, intuition, imagination, innovation, the visualizations of now are here, right here in front of you. Everything you think you know comes from the past. That will be a podcast next week, because you think you know your way to yesterday, but we try to use that today. So how does yesterday be today? And one thing about it, when you understand challenges, chaos, adversity, controversy, and all the unsteady and uncomfortable events in your life, they're rising you out of yesterday. They're showing you the evolution energy to rise beyond the limitations of your own current thinking, knowing, and the way you've always lived with grace and purpose. As it cultivates a calm clarity, savoring each moment invites you and me to embrace my life and your life with expanding subtleties of my inner universe, cutting loose my self-embedded turmoil. You know, when I opened up to this, it really was kind of awakening. All the turmoil, hate, anger, frustration, that was me being me. The outside world had nothing to do with it. It was my own thinking, thoughts, embedded representations in my subconscious. Everything you dislike in life is inside you, as it is inside me. And that's something I really hope people open up to and rise out of. All the hate, anger, and frustration you put forth from the world, it's inside you. So if you can open up and rise and savor the process, you can rise out of it. But we are so taught that the outside world did that to me. No, I did it to myself. And this is the one that really, it opened me up. I'm my own worst enemy. I am my only enemy. The outside world is all to rise, shine, and expand me onto my pathways of enlightenment, opening my trail to triumph for me to understand. I listen my way to the penthouse. I think and know my way and talk my way to the outhouse. And that's the truest affirmation I ever tell myself. When I start the gibberish, I'm going to talk myself into something that's it's not good for me. But all the turmoil in your life is from you. The outside world is innocent. And if everybody stayed in their house for a day, would the outside world still function just the way it is? Yes. And when I opened up and cut loose my self-embedded turmoil, that swiftly chauffeurs me to experiencing my now quality. Now quality is my word. It's present moment peace, but it's just called now quality. Opens my cognizance and appreciation that soothes my emotional currents, fostering a balanced, harmonious inner landscape. As I smell my sea breezes of liberation, I feel my heart and soul sing song of splendor. Smelling my garden fresh foresight as I understand savoring the process awakened my heart and soul and unleashes the essence of here and now. How does that feel? Unleashes the essence of here and now. As I inhale the liberation of my savoring the process, it stirs an intuitive connection to communicate with life's raw vitality. That's something else I'll express to you guys. You know, we get all confusion, then we get all anxiety and all that other. All that is raw wisdom. It's unrefined wisdom. Because you can only get anxiety in overthinking. Most of the stuff we have going on, like trauma, drama, that's us never enjoying the process. Oh, yeah, I could get mad and throw fits. I can throw fits with the best of them. But once I realized I was throwing fits, I was matching the outside world I grew up in. So that liberated me from me. But what I really want people to understand is set your goals. I use accomplished outcomes because that, but admit to yourself where you're at in life, what's going on, your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, everything that's going on right then. Write it all down. And then start designing the path. Never do answers and solutions because they're all caught up in your thinking memory mind. But as you listen, question everything, you can start discovering it. And something else, if you set an outcome or a goal or an accomplished outcome, you don't have to do it all that day. You can let some of it start writing a little bit every time, but don't take forever. Do it within a day or so, and then start letting go of what needs to go and start embracing. Embracing and facing your life situations that facilitate, participate in your daily life, and listen for the wisdom, insight that rises you out of your situations. Because listening quiets everything. You can never think, know, learn as you're listening. But listening and questioning your way through life allows you to open the way for you to discover your own pathway forward. And see, if you take solutions and answers out of your life and say, this is the pathway for me today, it soothes and calms that down. And see, the thing about a pathway, you can walk down the pathway smelling your sea breezes of savvy and energizing your eavesdropping energy to rise out of your situation. And see, I never use the word shift. I always use the word rise. I cut loose the challenges to rise of my inner wise to surprise me with my own trend-setting talents. If I really want to express to everybody encompasses sleek, unique talent to rise out of every situation, because everything we've been trying to do in life comes from the school system. Everybody is using yesterday's knowledge rather than here and now wisdom, insight, clarity, and the listening and the questioning of the now. As the sensory act expands, mere revelations awakens my heart, hellraiser serenity, energizes my soul, serendipitous bliss, to embrace the profound beauty woven throughout my here and now. See, all the wisdom and everything you desire in your life to rise out of the past, it's in the present moment. And I really understood that when I quit trying to heal the past and write all them silly letters that I did. Your liberation, inspiration, intuition, imagination, sleek, unique talents are right here. Because you'll never rise out of yesterday using yesterday's thinking, knowing, and yesterday's whatevers. And when you're savoring the process, it dissolves my ego's grip on my life. And see, that's something, I had enough egotistical arrogance for everybody. I could have thought, if arrogance was money, I'd be a trillionaire. But now that I'm understanding, when I start getting mad and saying, that was my old ego trying to be part of my life. But he kind of had to go by the wayside, because my listening gladiator will ride and rope my way through life. But it's savoring the process dissolves the ego's grip on your life and on my life. But saving the present moment, I detach from the triggers and to identify what is moving me backwards. And something everybody talks about but never really explains. When you're living when your ego's controlling your life, it's your viewpoints, opinions, your childhood is all controlling your life. So, and when I opened up to understand, when you want to rise out of the past, your viewpoints, opinions, and beliefs have to be questioned and listened to, so you can be awake and aware that to shred and communicate away the vice grip hold of your ego. Trust me, my ego had a good vice grip. But once I realized I did everything like my parents, because you really do it from the womb to 5 to 7 years old, and I was doing everything like my parents at that age. So when I opened up to this, I started understanding what to question. But if you're having, if something keeps going the same, just go back to when your parents, and you was 5, 6 years, womb to 5, see what was going on. And you can do a lot of this without going into trauma and drama. It's just a question. Why is this occurring? Why is this occurring for me? So what was going on in between then? Just ask yourself the question and let it go, because it will come to the forefront. And then it opens up boundless awareness and genuine connection beyond your self-imposed narratives. See, thinking, knowing, knowledge, that's all self-imposed narratives. Insight, intuition, imagination, innovation, that's all here and now. And that's your natural wisdom, is intuition. Then that opens the door to discovery. Embracing the process lets you rise, shine out of your fixed perspectives, and allows your campaigner's curiosity to take the lead. And this liberation from rigid opinions fosters adaptability and reveals now born dimensions of understanding and expansion. Of my here and now, clears away yesterday's debris, activates the power of flow. You're in the flow of the go of forthright love, opening, optimizing wisdom. When you're fully immersed listening to the here and now, you harmonize life's natural rhythm. And something I discovered, rhymes. Rhymes are the easiest way to start rising out of your old inner dialogue. It's like I chime the rhyme of prime time, trend-setting imagination, mystically energizing my inner wise to waltz, invigorating, streaming energy for me to be free today. And that takes away the mental blocks that we all have. And that's what we're really here, all this stuff we're doing. It's a simple saying: I liberate me from me to enjoy today. And I want to thank you for being here. But it's about illuminating your pathways of clarity and intuitive intentions, energizes your here and now with a lyrical loop of liberation, playing your lush, relaxing, desired lifestyle through your third eye movie screen, set you free from you. I want to thank you, and I'm going to say good night. We'll see you next Tuesday night. And I really appreciate everybody being here. Thank you, and enjoy your weekend.